Biscayne Boulevard, currently known as Mid-Century Modern, or MIMO, is a place full of rich history. From its iconic logos to its neon signs, what really stands out on the boulevard are the motels. The motels have played an essential role in solidifying the significance of this historical destination.
What's important about a historic district is that once it's designated, all property owners have an obligation, really a mandate, to adhere to what we call historic guidelines, which has to do with how properties look. What you don't want to do is, for instance, with the Vagabond, spend a lot of money, which was over $5 million, renovating a hotel or motel or a vintage property, and then somebody else can knock down the building next door or do something that isn't in context with sort of the look and feel architecturally, and therefore would sort of devalue, our efforts, not to mention our financial investment, but also our emotional or personal investment.
The restoration of these motels has brought back people and tourism after the district had fallen into petty crime and drugs.
Probably in the late 70s and the early 80s, this area became blighted, and a lot of the motels were renting to prostitutes and drug dealers, and the area changed, and a lot of the motels got cited, and they got closed down, and so the only way that they would allow them to reopen would be to either repurpose the property or, Now there were some motels that, kept their clientele clean, and kept it moving. So a lot of them stayed open.
Neon signs are a key part of the identity of Biscayne Boulevard, something that many motel and business owners realize.
We're working really hard. We think the neon signs, the signage of Biscayne Boulevard are really important to, I guess, it's art and it's architecture. It was, the mid-century was a very playful time. It was post-World War II. After the war, it was the age of the car culture. You can see that in the architecture. The fins are like a Cadillac. Some of the lighting looks like hubcaps. It was when we began the race to the moon. So you see these sort of Sputnik, Jetsonian inspirations. Very playful, very fun. And the neon signs, as you can imagine, back in the day, a whole street of them, with signs, pick me, pick me, pick me, for the night, because there was no social media and booking.com. So people would get in their cars and drive from all over the United States, and this was US 1, this was the highway, and they would drive down this highway looking for vacancies, which is why all the vintage signs have vacancy or no vacancy, because people would drive down looking for vacancy, and lots of times it was the neon sign, the signage itself, that would attract people into properties. So we think signage is important. We make that a big part of our restoration. I think the South Pacific sign is one of my favorite neon signs, though I think Gold Dust is gonna probably top that. And so we are really encouraging everybody on the boulevard that when they do their renovations to bring back that signage, bring back that sort of color and playfulness. And I think that in and itself is an attraction.
Even though there has been a huge renovation on Biscayne Boulevard, there's still a lot of room for improvement.
I see a lot of things changing quickly, and I'm starting to see a lot of pedestrians on the street, and so it's moving in a good direction, and it's been moving in that direction for the past 30 years. I've been investing here for almost 30 years, and I think it's starting to happen. So I'm hoping that it'll be something like a Lincoln Road one day. It'd be nice.